Hey y'all, today's video starts off a little strange. A couple Sundays ago, I headed out from my home to Salisbury, North Carolina to do some filming, and my wife was going to visit someone in the hospital. Well, I had been up in Salisbury filming for maybe 3 hours, and ironically, at the same exact time that I was filming in downtown, the streets of Salisbury, North Carolina, Adam the Woo was there as well. And after talking with him, according to our timeline, we had just missed each other a few minutes. So we thought that was pretty funny. But nonetheless, I had been filming for a while, and sometimes I'll film my intro after I finish filming, you know, looking for that best spot. Well, before that could happen, I got a call from my daughter that was visiting us from out of town, telling me that she was taking my wife to the hospital as my wife was having chest pains. Well, to make a long story short, I left immediately. It was a little over a 2-hour drive from where I was to the hospital, and arrived, and we sat in the emergency room with my wife for a long time. She wound up being perfectly fine, no problems, wasn't her heart or anything. Must have been something she ate. So that's why this video is a little different. But nonetheless, I hope you will enjoy my trip to Salisbury, North Carolina, and we'll get started right after this station identification. While passing through Granite Quarry, North Carolina, I come to the old stone house. This was built by a German immigrant by the name of Michael Braun in 1766. This 2-story Georgian-style house is the oldest structure in Rowan County. I saw online that it is a museum, and it is open at 1 today, but just as my experience has taught me that even though the internet says it's open, that doesn't mean it is. The house as it looks today, it looks almost like it's brand new. It was restored in 1966, almost 300 years after it was built. While I am in Salisbury, I wanted to stop at the old Lutheran cemetery. I think there's something here that you'll find interesting. Now, what I'm looking for should be pretty easy to find. It says it's in the southeast corner along the wall next to a tree. Shouldn't be too hard to find, right? In 1893, James Reed was apparently walking along the train tracks, perhaps right in this area here of downtown Salisbury. James lived for another 7 years before passing away. Not sure if it was train related or not, but he's buried several miles away from here, separate from his foot. I'm sure someone hadn't thought of it yet, that there's probably a ghost story about this cemetery where there's a man hopping around on one leg looking for his foot. I don't know if that's a true ghost story or not, but it could be. A friend of mine, Tampa Jay, visited here about a year ago, and he did something that I never thought about. We'll close these gates just to make sure nothing follows me home. So, hey, if there's anybody follow me, y'all stay back there. I'm gonna crawl back in the truck and find something else to look at. I know now it's a antique mall, but sawmills and steam engines, that would have really been cool. And then over there is the Fisher Thompson Hardware Company, or what's left of it. Now it is home to the Farmers Market Pavilion and Brewery. Right across from the historic Salisbury train station. In 1917, this was a building where Cheraw was first made and bottled. And this building is now condos, but it still has some of the original signage on the side of the building. Building next to the old Cheraw plant, this was the old farmer's market and a garage. Some more signage on the end of the old farmer's market down by the train depot. I'm not sure if this is the original fountain or not. Looks very similar, but I'm trying to line it up to where the fountain is across the street. It doesn't really line up with the buildings. The Empire Hotel, that should be easy to find. Main Street, Salisbury. So apparently at one time, that fountain was right in the middle of downtown. It's been moved off to the side now. There's a courthouse. That should be easy to find. Let's go see if we can find them. Some very old buildings in downtown Salisbury, such as the Empire Hotel. Of course, now they don't allow you to go in the Empire Hotel, but it's pretty neat. In the front window, there's a brief history that talks about it, as well as some of the original photographs of the inside of it back in its day. Built in 1855 by Nathaniel Bowenden, a U.S. Congressman and North Carolina Supreme Court Justice. Boy, if these walls could talk. Putting on the Ritz. It appears that that fountain that we saw was sitting right in that area there. And there's a Coca-Cola sign peeking out from the movie theater, which is now the Tom and Martha Smith Performing Arts Center. This was originally the Meredith's Theater. Was built back in 1905. Said its large seating capacity attracted professional troops to Salisbury. Two of the most famous thespians of the day, the divine Sarah Bernhardt and the glamorous Lillian Russell, they performed on stage here. John Philip Sousa and the New York Symphony Orchestra also performed here. Here on the corner of South Main and Fisher, there's this historical sign. Andrew Jackson studied law under Spruce McKay, 1784 and 1785 at office, which stood one block west, admitted to the bar in Rowan County, November the 6th, 1787. A lot of old signage on these buildings. Everywhere you look, you come across these old signs, Wallace and Sons, Wholesale Annex. Here on this side street is the Norvale, another theater. And right across the street is a little small restaurant with the drink Cheraw advertising and a faint ghost sign above it, and then on up higher another one. You can just tell by the way this building right there is built with the little end cap and the chimneys on the end that it stood alone at one time with a gap between the Maroney Theater and that other building. There were numerous movies filmed in and around Salisbury. The TV shows One Tree Hill and Sleepy Hollow were also filmed in part here and in the nearby communities. Maybe someday I'll do a filming location. I don't know if it shows up on camera because of the angle of the sun, but there's another ghost sign on the side of that building. And a look back down Main Street. This mural on the side of the building is called Crossroads Past into Present. The mural depicts Salisbury at the turn of the 20th century. That's going to be a wrap for our trip to Salisbury, North Carolina. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to share with your family and friends. But until next time, y'all have a good day.